Configuration profiles provide an easy way to apply settings and restrictions for iPhone, iPad, and Apple TV. This includes enforcing passcode requirements, restricting access to specific features, apps, and media content, and configuring saved Wi-Fi networks, along with many other options. My name is Jeremy, and welcome to our video on configuration profiles for devices. Configuration profiles are XML files with the .mobile config extension. They can be created with many apps and plain text editors, or most easily with Jamf Pro. Jamf Pro utilizes Apple Push Notification Service, or APNS, to deploy these files. For more information on APNS, check out our video covering Apple services. When installed on devices, the settings and restrictions contained within the configuration profiles are enforced. If they are removed, those settings and restrictions are also removed. Configuration profiles can be found by navigating to the Devices tab in Jamf Pro and clicking Configuration Profiles in the sidebar. You can use the disclosure triangles to hide or reveal existing configuration profiles, and use the filter to show only the configuration profiles matching the text entered. The buttons on the right of the page allow you to toggle between a dashboard view or list view. To the left of those buttons, you can upload existing configuration profiles to be deployed with Jamf Pro, or I'm clicking the New button to create a new one. On the left is a list of payloads that can be configured to apply settings and restrictions. The general payload is always required to be configured in order to provide a name. I'm using this configuration profile to enforce a passcode on devices in the Minneapolis building, so I'm naming mine passcode-MSP. Adding a description is optional, but may be useful in letting Jamf Pro administrators, or even users, understand the purpose of this configuration profile. Assigning it to a category helps with organization in Jamf Pro, so I'm choosing Security from the Category pop-up menu. The Level option allows you to apply configuration profiles to the entire device or specific users of the device. The User Level option only applies to iPads enabled as Shared iPad, so I'm leaving Device Level selected. For more information on Shared iPad, check out Apple's Education Deployment Guide. Configuration profiles can be installed automatically, enforcing settings and restrictions immediately, or made available in self-service for users to install. If Make Available in Self-Service is selected, you can control when the profile can be removed, never, with authorization requiring a passcode for removal, or always. In order to ensure the security of my devices, I'm selecting Install Automatically to force the installation of this configuration profile. With the general payload configured, select the passcode payload to begin configuring the requirements. Each passcode setting is listed with a description under its title and a switch to include or exclude the settings. For a couple of settings, there are additional Enforce and Ignore buttons. Several passcode settings are dependent on the Require Passcode setting being included. Notice how it's automatically included when I turn on the minimum passcode length setting. With that turned on, I'm selecting 6 as the smallest number of passcode characters allowed. There are more settings, allowing you to specify the passcode complexity, maximum age, and history, but I'm happy with the current settings. Next, we need to configure the scope to determine which devices will have this profile installed. For more information on configuring the scope, check out our video on Device Scope. Click Scope, and since this profile is for devices in Minneapolis, click Add, then Buildings, and add the Minneapolis building. After clicking Save, Jamf Pro immediately deploys the configuration profile to all devices in scope. Navigate back to Configuration Profiles, and we can see this is completed on one device, with many more pending. These numbers can be helpful for troubleshooting if it seems not all devices are receiving the configuration profile. There are several reasons devices may be listed as pending, but the most common is if they are offline. The next time they connect to the internet, the configuration profile will be installed. Taking a look at the behavior on the device, the user is prompted to create a passcode within an hour. If they tap later, the prompt will reappear every time the device is unlocked until an hour has passed, at which point they're forced to set up a passcode meeting the requirements of the passcode payload. Next, let's create a configuration profile to apply some restrictions. Click New. I'm naming this one General Restrictions and adding it to the Security category. When selecting the restrictions payload, a submenu appears. Beginning with functionality, restrictions can be filtered to show only those that apply to iOS devices, tvOS devices, or devices that are supervised. Devices can be supervised during automated device enrollment or with Apple Configurator 2. If devices are not supervised, any restrictions displayed with the supervised filter will not be enforced. For more information on supervision, check out our video on automated device enrollment and pre-stage enrollments. Restrictions can be enforced by clicking a button to the right of a setting. For example, clicking the Restrict button to the right of Use of Camera includes that setting and will restrict use of the camera. Since FaceTime relies on the camera, that setting is now disabled. The same goes for the screenshots and screen recording setting. If you no longer want to include a setting, just click the switch in the far right column to turn it off. This behavior continues with apps restrictions. Click Restrict next to the Installing Apps setting to prevent users from installing any non-approved apps. Toward the bottom of Apps restrictions, app usage can be used to show only the allowed apps or hide some apps that are not allowed. To remove distractions from my users, I'm entering Apple TV into the App Name field. Select the app you want to hide from the potential results in the pop-up menu that appears. More apps can be included with the Add button. Media content restrictions enable you to change the rating region and set the highest allowed rating for movies, TV shows, and apps. Once restrictions have been configured, click Scope. I want all of my devices to have these restrictions, so I'm selecting All Mobile Devices, then clicking Save. Taking a look at the device, the camera, FaceTime, App Store, and Apple TV apps are hidden from the home screen. Last, let's create a configuration profile with Wi-Fi settings. Click New. I'm naming this one Jamf Test Network and assigning it to the Information Technology category. Select the Wi-Fi payload and click Configure. This payload enables you to configure settings for specific Wi-Fi networks. Since I want devices to automatically connect to the Jamf Test Network, that's my SSID. Leave Auto Join selected, choose a security type, and enter the password. You can even include settings for an additional network by clicking the plus button in the upper right corner. Enter the information for the additional network, and then configure the scope. Click Scope, and I'm going to target specific mobile devices, add a target, click Departments, and select the Information Technology department. Click Save, and all settings applied by configuration profiles can be viewed on the device by going to Settings, General, Device Management, and MDM Profile. You may have noticed I created 3 different configuration profiles, each with only one payload configured. This is because it's recommended to create unique configuration profiles for individual payloads. Separating payloads into different configuration profiles can help with organization and troubleshooting. So remember, for most configuration profiles, only configure one payload per profile. That's all for this video on configuration profiles for devices. Be sure to check out more Jamf training videos. Thanks for watching.